We're going to be grading the Lions' player performances now, so I guess we'll just start with the head honcho, Jared Goff. QB position, Jeff, what are you grading him?
He played well in the first half. Second half, downhill, if you will. That's the term I'll use. It just, you saw the turnover, the interception, the fumble. I'm going to give Jared Goff a C-. I think he played well enough to earn the C grade, but the second half, he gets the minus. He gets the minus. The fumble, the slip out the hand. I don't know if the ball was wet, whatever the case may be. He just didn't play well. I mean, 26 for 36, 246 yards is good, 2 touchdowns. The interception, the fumble, maybe you can argue a C, but I can't give him a B or anything like that. So I'll go C-.
All right, Jared Goff, I gave him a D+. I gave Jared a D+ because it's not what you do when things are going right. It's what you do when things are going wrong, and the plays aren't developing the way you want them to, and the receivers aren't as open as you planned them to be. How are you making those throws? And Jared Goff did a terrible job of that all night, especially in the second half. But the first half, he did throw a dime to TJ Hawkinson. The Cephas play, dead open, hard to miss, but still, made the throw, touchdown, let's go. 2 very good throws. He looked comfortable, but when he got punched in the mouth, it changed the whole game. And although, again, he impressed me the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, his remaining 40 were very concerning. I give him a D+. It may be a bit harsh, considering he did have a very good first quarter, but overall, I give Jared Goff a D+. Kennedy, who's next?
All right, up next, we're going to talk about our running backs. So what did you guys think?
This is hard to evaluate it because they went away from the run. They played from behind. They stopped running the ball. I think they had 15 carries combined between DeAndre and Jamal. But in the time they got carries, DeAndre had some nice runs. But other than that, Jared Goff had more yards rushing than both of them. So, I'm gonna have to go. I'll go C- again. I mean, it's C to where we don't know because they didn't get a lot of carries, only 7 carries. But at the same time, it's like, you didn't do a whole lot. So I give him C-. I mean, the running back core, last week, they played tremendously well, but this week, maybe I'll even give him a C.
Okay,
we'll stay in that
fair.
area.
I gave DeAndre Swift a B, and I gave Jamal Williams a C-, but he wasn't really active in the second half.
Yeah, right.
They were playing from behind. Swift is the marquee back for pass catching downs we saw late in the game. I liked Swift. Swift gave me some explosiveness. They got away from the run, but I told you guys before the season, what happens when they will be down, like they will be the entire season? There will not be a game they play where they're not down. What happens? They can't move the ball. So I'm not going to harshly grade the running backs. Overall, I'd give them a C+, a B for DeAndre Swift, and a C- for Jamal Williams.
Yeah, DeAndre definitely had a higher grade. I agree with you there. As a group, I mean, you gave him around a C. I mean, we mutually agree there.
Okay, Kennedy, what's next?
Up next, we got our wide receivers. Obviously, Cephas had some good plays there, but then a lot of people were actually tweeting about how disappointed they were in St. Brown. So I want to get your guys' take. How would you grade the wide receivers?
I want to start. If we're going to do wide receivers,
yeah,
they're going to get a D-. And the only reason they get a D- is because of Quintez Cephas.
Yep.
St. Brown, Raymond, Benson, give them all Fs. F them all. Give them an F, every single one of them. Awful. 0 separate. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love you, Lions fans. I really do. He's the next Golden Tate, Adam. Oh, my God. You should see the separation he's getting in camp. Well, it looks like everybody gets separation against the Lions. Okay, continue. St. Brown has looked pathetic. Outside of camp. In practice, he's a warrior, allegedly. But in games, even in the preseason, he'll get you 3 catches, but there'll only be 12 yards. Where's the yards after catch king? Where is he? Now, I'm not going to grade him over the whole season just off of 2 games, but it's been bad so far. He hasn't looked promising in the slot. He's not getting the separation he needs to get. And again, he's a rookie. He needs to develop. His route running needs to get better. His explosiveness off the line of scrimmage does need to get better. I'm not going to kill the kid. But we're talking 2 games in. Fs. Not happy with the receivers at all.
Jeff?
We're in the same ballpark. I had him at D. All right, D-. It's interesting. Quintez Cephas had some very nice catches, close catches on some instances, but if we're gonna, I mean, honestly, this wide receiver core is so bad. I want to throw T.J. Hawkinson in that wide receiver core because besides him, you're throwing to your running backs and Quintez Cephas. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, yes, he's played poorly. I want to see him used in more different ways. I mean, he's so.
I want to see him put in motion.
Yes,
I think we're gonna agree on that.
That's the one thing.
Yep, 100%. I knew you were gonna go there. I knew it. That is what the Lions did early with T.J. Hawkinson, putting him in motion.
Oh, it was
and
beautiful.
misdirection. I like that. Do it with St. Brown. He's got the speed. Nobody's questioning his speed and his ability. He can get there. Yeah. But right now, if you're just asking him to line up one-on-one against a nickel corner,
right?
Like what are the odds he actually makes them miss? He needs 2-3 years to develop. You're kind of putting him in a bad spot right now. Try to get him open. Try to get him confident. You don't want him to go every single game this year, 4 catches, 17 yards. It's going to kill his confidence. So boost him up.
What do you say to the people in the chat that are saying the poor wide receiver core is because of Goff, and Goff is the one to blame?
No, it's not Jared Goff. No. Any quarterback, any average quarterback like Jared Goff is, he's average, would struggle with this team.
Yeah.
The wide receivers aren't creating separation. You don't really have a deep threat. Yes, Tyrell Williams is out, but that's what you want to hitch your wagon on, Tyrell Williams? No, Jared Goff is a problem. He's not the future, but that's okay. He's a bridge quarterback. I could care about his performances. I could care less. The wide receiver's awful.
All right, well, maybe this will be our first good grade. We've got Hawkinson up next. What are you rating or grading him, Jeff?
I'm gonna give him a B plus A minus. I think T.J. Hawkinson was great. He had 8 receptions for 66 yards. The yards are going to go up. They had a lot of focus on T.J. Hawkinson last night. It was really the first game without Tyrell Williams, and I know Tyrell Williams isn't that good in terms of what we've seen in one game. But he takes attention off of the offense. Obviously, you got T.J. Hawkinson, Tyrell Williams. Tyrell Williams goes out. It's really just Quintez Cephas, T.J., and the running backs. And T.J. still got 8 receptions for 66 yards, and a touchdown. So impressive. Listen, as much as times as he's targeted, he's bound for some monster games. I think T.J., this is just the beginning of the season for him. I think he definitely ends the year. I had Kyle Pitts around the same skill level as T.J. Hawkinson this year, but no, I was completely wrong, and I'm not afraid to say it. T.J. Hawkinson is the man, and he gets a lot of attention in Detroit. So I gave him a B plus or A minus. I wouldn't be afraid to give him
B plus, A minus? Wow, I gave him an A. I don't know how you don't give that performance an A. The toe tap in the back of the end zone.
It was beautiful.
Again, it was a great ball by Jared Goff, but still, he made the catch. He was a threat all night. 3rd and 14 converted a first down. Not fourth. I believe it was 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, whatever it may be. He was moving the chains, and they were doubling him. Go back and watch the film. Every time T.J. Hawkinson ran off the line, the linebacker looked at the quarterback, and then he ran with T.J. Hawkinson, and the safety came over to help. Every single play. And he still put up numbers. I love that. T.J. Hawkinson is elite. I'm giving him an A. Really happy with how he performed the entire game. Happy for him.
He's got to stop leaping. I agree with MP in the chat. Like this, every single time he was tackled, he was in the air. Did you see that too? Like this man is not afraid to jump for first downs and leap over defenders. It's crazy. And I think the only reason why, I mean, he had a holding penalty, but besides that, man, the man pretty much played flawless. I love T.J. Hawkinson. I think in 8 receptions, he'll get more yards in the future. He'll get 8 receptions for 100 yards. He's got it in his tank, man. I mean, he's basically he needs to get better in his route running ability, but he is essentially an add-on to the wide receiver core. He's so good, and he's getting better at his run blocking. So the sky's the limit for TJ. So I think we agree. A minus, A, whatever you want to give him.
You guys are evaluating in the chat the wide receiving core based on 1 4th down play, where the team was essentially, the game was over. They were just like playing defense casually. Go look at quarters 2, midway into the 4th quarter. Go from the 2nd quarter to the midway into the 4th when the team made the adjustments. Go look at the separation. It wasn't there. And Jared Goff was asked to throw elite quarterback throws that he couldn't make because he's not elite. That's what you get. What's next?
Up next, we've got the defense. Obviously, Okuda's out. Iffy now questionable. I know it's going to be ugly, but Jeff, what do you give him?
F. F, failure, F. The bottom, F minus. If you can do an F minus, give him an F minus. I just made it up, F minus. I'm sick of this defense, and you can't even give them a D. What have they shown you? Besides, they had 3 sacks. The Green Bay offensive line was already playing bad, so that it does not surprise me. They had some pressures on Aaron Rodgers. Besides that, they couldn't tackle, they couldn't cover, they couldn't stop the run. They didn't phase Aaron Rodgers. An F minus. This defense has showed nothing from week 1 to week 2. They're still just as horrible. Hopefully, over the course of the season, they slowly improve in different areas of the defense. But if you're asking me what I saw last night, it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. I give him an F.
I don't know if there's a lower grade than an F, but F's for every single player on defense. F to the coaching staff. F everything. Everything was F.
Mike said Z minus, at the bottom of the alphabet. Give him
You're
a Z.
being generous by even giving him a Z.
Like, do whatever you got to do.
All right.
Absolutely awful.
Well, speaking of the coaching staff, up next, you guys are grading the man, the coffee drinker. He had his double venti, triple shot, whatever the heck today. Dan Campbell, what do you give him, Jeff?
This is tough. And now the penalties aren't gonna work. The too many men on the field. Me and Adam joke about that. It's not gonna fly. But they got blown out. What are we expecting him to do with this team? Not much. Just to improve in little areas of the squad, and over time have a chance to compete in the division. But if I had to give Dan Campbell a grade, I would give him a C. I mean, an average. He did what he was supposed to do. The first half they played hard. Second half the team just totally got away from him, and they just played poorly. But, I mean, I don't know. See how you can give Dan a D or an F. I mean, the guy, it's not his fault the defense can't guard a single human being on the field. So he's got what he's got, and he only has what he has to work with. So I give him a C. I'm comfortable with that.
Dan Campbell is C?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how to grade Dan Campbell. His roster is awful.
Right.
His in-game coaching decisions, F. His halftime adjustments, F. So I got to give him an F.
Wow.
Okay.
They got the script right. No, I'm not.
Hold on.
They came out scripted and came out and scored their first 2 drives. Everything was great. His decision to throw the ball on 4th and 1 was god awful. Everybody and their mother would have called that play a run. Not because it was incomplete. No. They were running all over the Green Bay Packers at that moment. And of course, they try to be smart. Let's get Jared Goff the ball. He'll make the right decision. He misses the check down running back. Throws to the sideline incomplete. I don't want to hear it. F across the board. F across the board. Sorry. You're not getting a moral victory from me because your team came out, executed the first 2 times they were on the field, and did nothing the rest of the game.
What are we grading a coach on? To answer me that.
Decisions.
Okay.
Awful.
Okay, so you give him not awful to have an F, but it was bad.
Awful.
Okay, awful. He's an
Halftime
F.
adjustments, beyond F.
What were his halftime adjustments?
Nothing. That was the problem.
They lost to a better team. They lost to a better. What were you expecting to happen, Adam?
Goodness. They lost 21-0 in the second half.
What were you expecting?
Oh my goodness.
21-21 at the end of the game? No. Come on,
but
dude.
They came out flat. They came out with 0 adjustments. Green Bay adjusted to everything the Lions were doing. The Lions adjusted to nothing. What are we doing here?
What do you want them to adjust? Get the quarterback?
Oh my goodness.
Adjust. Guard receivers better? There's no talent. What are you adjusting to? I don't know. It makes no sense.
It's an F across the board. Sorry. You don't like it? That's your problem. Awful clock management at the end of the first half. Should I continue on that?
No.
Yes, he should have used the timeout earlier. Come on.
Any of you, it's an F across the board for Dan Campbell. I don't even want to hear it. Kennedy, get us out of here. We need to do Fish's Facts.
You guys, yes, Fish's Facts up next. Sorry to end that on such a negative Nelly note, but when you have Adam in the studio, you never know what you're going to get.